Welcome into another video and happy NFL Honors Day. As you can see, I'm in full gear, ready for this award ceremony. I have full picks and predictions for you guys, but I have my guys who I'm giving my honors out to, okay? I'm not following what the NFL is saying or any that way. I'll tell you who I think is going to win the award, but I'm going to tell you who I think should win the award. We've got all of them today. Assistant Coach of the Year, Head Coach, Rookies, Offensive, Defensive Player of the Year, MVP, Comeback Player of the Year even. I'm so excited to get into it. Welcome to the awards show, baby. We even got some applause for you guys. Let's go ahead and get the odds up on the board here. And we're going to kick it off with AP, Assistant Coach of the Year, and a list of legendary candidates, baby. I mean, those are some phenomenal names. Vic Fangio should arguably be a Hall of Famer, one of the brightest defensive minds of our generation. Same thing goes for Brian Flores. How he got passed over on another coaching cycle is beyond me. Then you got Vance Joseph, Denver Broncos defensive coordinator in there, also passed up in a coaching cycle. Clint Kubiak, expected head coach of the Las Vegas Raiders, but still currently the Seattle Seahawks offensive coordinator. And then Josh McDaniels, offensive coordinator for the New England Patriots. Who do I think is going to win this award? I think McDaniels is going to win this award, but who do I think should win the award? I also think it should be Josh McDaniels. Listen, the Patriots went from the 30th ranked and 31st ranked offense in the National Football League in terms of points and yards per game, and they finished second and third in those categories this year. The jump that Drake May made from year one to year two has been absolutely massive. He is right there at the top of the list of MVP candidates next to Matt Stafford. He had a phenomenal year. I think what McDaniels was able to get out of this offense was beyond me. Absolutely phenomenal. I think Clint Kubiak's probably the best mind on this list. He was my number one head coaching candidate of this year's cycle. But what McDaniels was able to get out of this Patriots offense was phenomenal. You have past his prime Stephon Diggs, Keyshawn Butte, Hunter Henry, Austin Hooper, and a good running back room of Ramondre Stevenson and the rookie Travion Henderson. But that doesn't scream top offense in the league to me. It was a phenomenal year for Josh McDaniels. He's by far the assistant coach of the year in my eyes. Let's go ahead and move on to Head Coach of the Year, AP Coach of the Year, and you can see our candidates there. Liam Cohen of the Jacksonville Jaguars, Ben Johnson, my Ben Johnson, baby, that's my dude, of the Chicago Bears, of my Chicago Bears, Mike McDonald of the Seattle Seahawks in the Super Bowl as we speak, Kyle Shanahan, San Francisco 49ers, and Mike Vrabel of the New England Patriots. I do think Mike Vrabel is going to win this award. He's by far the clear favorite. Phenomenal year for the New England Patriots, but that's not who I'm going with for my Coach of the Year. For my AP Coach of the Year, I'm rolling with Kyle Shanahan of the San Francisco 49ers. Listen, Kyle Shanahan went 12-5 with a backup quarterback playing half the season in a loaded division with the Seahawks and the Rams right there with him. After losing his two best defensive players by far, 3 games only from Nick Bosa, 5 games from Fred Warner, on top of his superstar tight end missing 6 games, on top of his supposedly wide receiver 1, not even a part of the team anymore. Ricky Pearsall in and out of the lineup. This guy, him and a running back, took this team to 12-5. Phenomenal season. Really, I don't know how you overlook this and how he is not the clear favorite to win Coach of the Year. The fact that he went 12-5 this season with his backup quarterback playing half the year, with the schedule that they had, with the 2 defensive superstars that they were missing, it's beyond me. It really is. When Fred Warner and Nick Bosa were both out, I thought it was a death sentence. Said, okay, 49ers, their season's probably over. Brock Purdy's still not in the lineup. They're still trotting out Mac Jones, who was playing well. Another reason to give it to him. Backup quarterback was playing damn good. I mean, I don't know how he's not the favorite. I don't know how he's not the pick. Kyle Shanahan should be Coach of the Year. All right, moving on to Comeback Player of the Year. You got Stephon Diggs, Aiden Hutchinson, Trevor Lawrence, Christian McCaffrey, and Dak Prescott. I know that CMC is the heavy favorite, and it's probably going to be CMC. That is who I do think it's going to be. But for me, personally, I am rolling with the one and the only Trevor Lawrence of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Listen, man, T-Law just had a career year after a brutal season last year where he missed 12 games, I believe. He comes out and has a career year. There were genuine conversations that if T-Law's career was over, if they were going to, give it one last shot with Liam Cohen and him, this guy's an MVP candidate. I mean, I know that CMC missed just as much time last year and had a phenomenal season. I'm not trying to take anything away from him, but the Jacksonville Jaguars for sure would not be in this spot if it was not for Liam Cohen and Trevor Lawrence. I mean, he had a career year. I know that I can give the ball to CMC 400 times and he's going to have a really good season. Trevor Lawrence took a massive leap this year, and I think by far he should be comeback player of the year because he's never had to overcome something like this. CMC gets a year of rest. Following season, it's 400 carries and an insane amount of numbers. And I'm a huge CMC guy. Not trying to take away from in any way, shape, or form am I not trying to take away from what he did. But man, T-Law, what a year he had after last season. I genuinely believe that his career might be over. It was looking to be that way. They paid him all that money. He gets hurt. He was just on a, and then boom, skyrockets. MVP candidate, great season. It's hard not to give it to that guy right there. Let's go ahead and move on to the AP Defensive Rookie of the Year presented by EA Sports Madden NFL. You've got Abdul Carter, Nick Demon Worry of the Seattle Seahawks, James Pierce Jr., Carson Schwessinger, and Xavier Watts. I do think Carson Schwessinger is going to win the award, and I am picking Carson Schwessinger to win Defensive Rookie of the Year. Really good year from him. I got to give him all the props in the world, really. I hated the pick from Cleveland. Shout out Andrew Berry for that one. I could not stand this selection. I hated it. Worked out great. They have found their man in the middle on the second level for years to come. He was number 6 in the NFL in tackles, number 1 amongst rookies in tackles for loss. A really good year from him. I mean, that guy's going to be a team captain probably for years to come. I think it wasn't a great rookie class from really any defenders. I think James Pierce Jr., I really wanted to pick James Pierce Jr. I did, because what he did in Atlanta was a really good year. Same thing with Xavier Watts. Xavier Watts I was extremely high on, and it was a crime that he went in the 3rd round. It's good for Atlanta fans. So happy to see him on the Defensive Rookie of the Year finalist list. Awesome. James Pierce Jr. right there, but I think Carson Schwessinger just had an all-around really good season, and he's going to be probably one of their cornerstone defenders for the foreseeable future right there with Myles Garrett. Let's go ahead and move on to the defensive or offensive Rookie of the Year presented by EA Sports Madden NFL. You've got Jackson Dart of the New York Giants, Emeka Egbuka, Travion Henderson, Tataroa McMillan, and Tyler Shuck. And really good years from all of these guys, but I just got to say, I think the most consistent one was my guy and probably the favorite who I think is going to win the award as well, Tataroa McMillan of the Carolina Panthers. He just had a really consistent year. Egbuka, he got injured, couldn't see it all the way through. Jackson Dart, some really high highs from Jackson Dart. Too many injuries, couldn't see it all the way through. Travion Henderson, it took a while to get going, but man, he had a really special second half of the season. Same with Tyler Shuck. I thought his second half of the season was phenomenal, but from start to finish of their rookie season, Tataroa McMillan was the guy. I don't think he's this otherworldly talent. He didn't come out and have this, Jamar Chase, Justin Jefferson, Puka Nacua level rookie season, but he finished top 15 in yards. He was number one amongst rookies in touchdowns. A really good year from the rookie. He's got to be the offensive rookie of the year. I think all of these guys, if they were healthy, you could probably argue that Shuck or Dart was going to get this award if they played the entire season with the way that they looked in the second half of the year, or especially Shuck. But at the end of the day, you got to go with Tataroa McMillan, start to finish of the entire year. He was balling. He was a consistent player, and he had a really good rookie year. Now let's get into the big three, folks. We're getting into the big three. AP Offensive Player of the Year presented by Microsoft Copilot. You have quarterback Drake May, running back Christian McCaffrey, wide receiver Puka Nacua, running back Bijan Robinson, and Jackson Smith-Njigba, Seattle Seahawks wide receiver. I always love this, that they throw like the second favorite quarterback into the Offensive Player of the Year mix. Like we don't know who's going to win the MVP award or something like that now. Just kind of makes me think like, well, why is Matthew Stafford not in this list? But Drake May is. Interesting. But I do think that Jackson Smith-Njigba is going to win this award, and that is who I'm going with as well. The breakout season for JSN was unbelievable and so much fun to watch. That was the player that we saw at Ohio State this year. This was the guy who I thought easily should have been a top 10 pick, and the NFL just completely overlooked that one per usual, and we finally see it now in full form. A breakout season, a phenomenal season. Let's just be honest with ourselves right now. They're not in the Super Bowl if Jackson Smith-Njigba is not on this team. Like, they're just not. They have a really good team, really good rushing attack, but they are not in the Super Bowl if he is not on this squad. And the fact that he wasn't an MVP candidate kind of blew my mind. I'm not saying I would pick him as my MVP candidate, but the fact that he's not an MVP candidate really blew my mind, because they would not be in the Super Bowl today. They wouldn't be 14-3. They wouldn't have won those playoff games without him. He's a star. He is a superstar. Like, he's a top 5 wide receiver in football. Hard to immediately put the label on him as the best one, even though he had the best season. But, I mean, like, how he's not an MVP candidate is beside me. Phenomenal year, though. Easily the offensive player of the year for the Seattle Seahawks. Really pulling for them. What a year for Jackson Smith-Njigba. Let's get into defensive player of the year. I'm assuming, no, not presented by Microsoft Copilot. Presented by TCL. I think Myles Garrett's going to win this one, and I'm picking Myles Garrett to win this one. Let's get the applause in here real quick. I mean, we don't really have to get into this one too much. The guy broke the sack record. Like, yeah, it took him 17 games, but that's what the NFL is now. It's 17 games. The guy broke the sack record. I'm not going to give it to anybody else. Really great years from all of these guys, but I'm not going to give it to anybody else. He broke the fucking sack record. Myles Garrett's defensive player of the year. I mean, I'm sure he's an insane favorite. I don't even look at the odds for this one. Will Anderson Jr., pretty much any other year, I think he's probably winning defensive player of the year. But Myles Garrett broke the sack record. He's the best defensive player in football. He truly is one of one. I've always said that. I think Micah Parsons is right there with him. He really kind of separated himself this year to be the true one of one. Micah Parsons is now the 2. I thought it was maybe a 1A, 1B. No, Myles Garrett is the best defensive player in football, and he's going to win defensive player of the year. Finally, here we go for the MVP. Your candidates presented by Invisalign. Josh Allen, Buffalo Bills. Trevor Lawrence, Jacksonville Jaguars. Drake May, New England Patriots. Christian McCaffrey of the San Francisco 49ers. And Matthew Stafford of the Los Angeles Rams. Drum roll, please. Matthew Stafford, most valuable player. He is the favorite, and he is who I am rolling with. I mean, Matthew Stafford is the MVP. Leader in yards, leader in touchdowns. By far the most impressive season I've seen from a quarterback in some time. He was lights out on fire this year. The peak of his career. By far the most talented quarterback in the NFL that we saw this season as well. The amount of no-look passes, the schedule that he had to play. I mean, all of it just piles into this is the most valuable player in the National Football League, and his name is Matthew Stafford of the Los Angeles Rams. In 8 games this year, this is regular season, by the way, because that's what the award is, regular season. In 8 games against playoff teams, he played 8 playoff teams in the regular season. Well, technically 6 playoff teams, a couple of them 2 times. He had 252 yards per game in those 8 games. He averaged 2.8 touchdowns per game, 22 touchdowns in total in 8 games, and only threw 3 picks in those 8 games. I mean, he's by far the guy. Like, that shows it to you right there. This was his team this year. The Rams are not what they are. I mean, they have a really good roster. I think what Les Snead and Sean McVay have built is great, but they're not what they are this year without him. That's the truth. And you can say the same thing about Drake May, and Drake May should be right there. I think you put Drake May in last year's class, he's walking away with the MVP last year. Maybe. I don't know. Josh Allen and Lamar Jackson both had really good seasons. But overall, Drake May had a phenomenal season. I know that he's in the Super Bowl. They gave AP first team All-Pro to Matthew Stafford. 99 out of 100 times, it's going to Matthew Stafford, the MVP as well. I think all of these guys, really good seasons. Christian McCaffrey has every right to be in that list. Trevor Lawrence has every right to be on that list. Josh Allen, Drake May, every right to be on that list. Phenomenal year. Phenomenal year from all of these guys, but I'm going with Matthew Stafford. And there you have it. Those are my picks and my predictions for the NFL honors. Enjoy the show tonight. Look snazzy maybe for it, like me. I know I'm wearing the hat. That's hilarious, but I wear a hat in every single video for a reason. But enjoy it. The Super Bowl is this weekend. I got my picks and my predictions coming out for you guys tomorrow between the Seattle Seahawks and the New England Patriots. I'll talk to you guys soon. Peace.